Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
Out of the darkness, it's your shining light. It's Gun Sports Radio, Show 98. Happy Father's Day to all you gentlemen out there. And for all you fathers out there that haven't done the right thing, get your act together. You have plenty of time.
Go, Dave.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, folks. Hopefully you're having a great time. Michael, what are you doing, buddy? Fantastic. Uh-oh, you're not on. Hold on. Try again.
Warm them up.
Yeah, I think you're on now. Go ahead.
How's that? Is that better?
Okay, how's he sound now?
Test 1, 2, 3.
There you go. You're good.
He's there.
Hey, before we get to Gooey, Gun Range San Diego sponsors this segment, and we can't thank them enough. They sponsor the whole show, actually. 7853 Balboa Avenue, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. Go to gunrangesandiego.com to find out everything they do. They got classes, they've got parties, they've got rentals, they have screaming deals on ammo. I'm telling you, Gun Range San Diego, the Nordstroms of gun ranges, just not the price. So, Michael, who have you got for your guest today?
I have something. It's very interesting. As everybody knows, or if, in case you don't know, by the end of this month, if you have an AR with a bullet button in order to comply with California law, you have a couple of decisions to make. Are you going to alter it? Are you going to get rid of it? Hopefully that's not the decision you make. Or are you going to register it? And because we're so close, just as a reminder to everybody, I wanted to talk about some of the products. I was taking a look at some of the products that are available for altering your AR in order to comply. And Asiano from Cali Key has come up with a really interesting product that he's been working on for about a year, and it's now for sale. I thought it was extremely interesting. So I because we're so close, I wanted to have him come on the air and talk about it. Asiano, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Hi, guys. How are you?
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Happy Father's Day to you and your listeners.
Thank you very much, sir.
To you as well. Now, tell everybody exactly what your product is.
Well, we're shooting to help everybody keep their AR legal. And we're thinking that seeing the gradual creep in California's attempt to circumvent our Second Amendment rights, we are thinking that they're most likely going to go after semi-automatic rifles. So what we tried to do was develop a way that we could drop in a part and essentially convert any AR, direct impingement mil-spec, into a bolt-action rifle. And that's what we did. It took us a little while. Our first attempt looked like a skit from an Abbott and Costello movie where we were passing the hot potato, seeing if who'd shoot the gun first, because we thought we were a little bit off the wall with the idea. But it turned out to work. The concept was a go, and it took us a while, but we're here, and I think we've got a great product. So
I've seen the product. I think it is extremely cool, and I think it's also very, very unique. There are a lot of products out there that are trying to solve the problem in a very similar way, but this is the only product I've seen that does it. By basically altering the AR's function so that it turns it into, a bolt action, which means you have to charge the handle after every shot. But can you describe, I'm showing Dave and Lance the product and what it looks like, but can you kind of describe what that does, how much altering of the AR you have to do, and what exactly the product is?
Absolutely. Essentially, it takes about 2 minutes, maybe less, to install the thing. What we do is we take off the gas key off of your bolt carrier group, which is that little straw-looking thing that attaches to the gas tube that runs over your barrel. And there's 2 bolts into that, and you screw on the Cali key, which is essentially a block and also an integrated charging handle. So once you've done that, and you're about 2 minutes into the process, you're now good to go with bolt-action rifle, and you can move from bolt-action to semi-automatic, depending on what jurisdiction you're in about as fast a time as it takes to change out your BCG or your bolt carrier.
Your bolt carrier group. So anybody with an Allen wrench or a screwdriver can take their bolt carrier group, remove the little piece up on top that captures the gas. It's called the gas key, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Replace it with replace it with your product, and then they no longer need a charging handle, and boom, for 2 minutes of work and not a lot of money, they now have a California compliant AR, and so they can keep the evil features. You can have your pistol grip, your telescoping stock, you can have your foregrip, just by converting this little piece in the bolt carrier group. Is that all pretty accurate?
Absolutely accurate. And some other advantages are essentially the ease of transport, especially if you're registering or you're considering registering. I'd be very careful and read exactly what you're getting into. Transportation is going to be very difficult, and especially if you're not going straight from point A to point B. With this, you can go anywhere in the state, drop it in. You've got a bolt-action rifle. Nobody can say anything to you about it. Importation of a gun that you may want to buy, as long as it's otherwise legal in California, you stick the Cali key into it, and for certainly a cheaper solution than anything else out there, which was our other goal.
Now you say
legal rifle.
It's a cheaper solution. How much are these selling for?
MSRP $74.95, okay. But we're also doing. We're big believers in San Diego County gun owners. So we're doing, for members only, a special promo of 15% off. So off the bat, we really tried to price it even at MSRP below any other solution. So it should be cheaper than your featureless options. It should be cheaper than your fixed magazine options. And more importantly, though, regardless of whether you're a member or not, every single unit that we sell, a portion of it is going to go directly to sponsor San Diego County gun owners' efforts.
Which is very cool. I'm very appreciative of that. When they say they are supporters of San Diego County gun owners, guys, they walk the walk and not just talk the talk. They were at our dinner. They had a table at our dinner. They donated for our drawings. They really are going to give a portion of how much they make off this product to San Diego County gun owners, which is very, very cool.
And let's make sure I got your website, jlbillet.com, JLBILL.
Yeah, JL Billet is, he's actually a local gun manufacturer, veteran-owned and operated, makes incredibly beautiful and high-end rifles, as well as parts and OEM manufacturing. The actual website, you can either go to JL Billet, or you can go to calikey.com, which might actually be easier for people to remember. Gotcha. Cali with a K, because, as we all know, that there's a reason why we're spelling with a K. So calikey.com, and it'll bring you straight to the product page.
So I just want to reiterate. So this is not a permanent change to your rifle. If you go take a class in Nevada or something like that and need to, once you get over the border and you need to, reconvert your rifle so that you can take a class, that's just another 2 or 3 minutes to do that. But really what this is all these the assault weapons ban. Starts off by saying, hey, look, it has to be a semi-automatic centerfire rifle. So what you're doing is saying, hey, here's a quick, easy way to comply by making it no longer semi-automatic, and therefore you don't have to, comply with any of the assault weapons or semi-automatic rifle rules because you're now a bolt action. You're a manual action rifle. But again, it's not permanent. It's not some big, expensive, permanent altering of your rifle. It's real quick and easy to do. What gave you the idea to do this?
Essentially, we were thinking, how can we future-proof this? I think this is the first step in several others that are coming down the line, especially if Gavin Newsom gets elected. And I think they're coming after semi-automatic rifles. I think that's the end goal here. So, going featureless, making a lot of investments, and I was like everybody else, most likely. Every time a new product came out, I'd buy it and I'd see it, I'd check it out. And I found featureless was hard to run my drills because I couldn't really reach the safety the way I liked it. I was a little bit nervous about using fixed magazines because you clear some jams in a way that forces you to take apart a loaded weapon. I wasn't comfortable with that. So that, on top of the fact that I really see down the line a war on the semi-automatic rifle, And this is a way for me to keep my collection intact. And going back to what you were saying, yeah, absolutely. You can change in and out to semi-automatic to bolt-action rifle, and as quick as it takes you to change the bolt carrier group in and out of your rifle. Most people can do it in well under a minute.
Just maybe a couple minutes. If you're me, it might take 3 minutes, but you can still get it done. Yeah, I like. By the way, I've never heard you use the term future-proofing. I think that's pretty interesting.
That's a good one.
You're future-proofing because we all know they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to come after us. But I thought this was very, very unique, and I really do want to emphasize. If you look at kalikey.com, KALIKEY.com, you'll see that you do not have to buy an entire new bolt carrier group. You just have to attach this to your bolt carrier group. It's easy to go back and forth. So, Asiano, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Give that website one more time.
Kalikey.com. Just to clarify, you guys, nobody needs to modify their gas system either. It's good to go the way it is.
Excellent.
So, all right. Thank you very much, guys, for the opportunity, the time, and again, happy Father's Day to everybody.
You got it, buddy. Thank you. All right, folks, we're going to take a small break. We want to thank Trident Gunsmithing. We'll talk about them when we come back right here on AM 1170, The Answer. Welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio. We got Lance in the house. We got Michael Schwartz in the house. And Hollywood is MIA. But that's okay. He's safer being MIA.
Yeah.
Right here on AM 1170.
So are we.
I want to thank Trident Gunsmithing. Go to their website, tridentgunsmithing.com. Hey, up next, after the break, it's attorney John Dillon. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day to you, too. I know you're being lavished with gifts and champagne.
No, I'm running around the San Diego Zoo at the moment. But
oh, is that what you wanted
my kid's somewhere here. Yeah, both of them. They're somewhere in the park. I actually don't know where they are at the moment. But they're. I think they're in here somewhere.
Is that
probably the lion.
Hey, is that what you asked for Father's Day? What a great father!
Oh yeah, it's exactly what I asked for. Not a new gun or anything.
No. You wanted to go to the zoo.
No, I'm having a great time, but I had to stop and call in because there's some important stuff to discuss when it comes to guns in California. But I did first want to jump on, after, Ascanio with the Cali Key. That's actually a client of ours. We've worked with them for a long time on the Cali Key, and I've personally used it. I have one on one of my firearms. It's actually one of the prototypes, and it's a fantastic, piece of compliance, and it works really easy, and it truly does take under 2 minutes to switch out, and it's a fantastic solution. So I do have to support Ascanio with that product. It's a great one.
I think, John, I think that people at first glance get real skeptical of turning their AR into a semi-auto.
Uh-huh.
But the more you take a look at this thing and see, oh, geez, that's just a couple of screws, and it's not permanent, and you can still train with it. And I think it's a very unique and good idea. And I think it even more than, I don't know. I think it's even more of a solid work or, compliant piece than going featureless. You know what I mean? Cause it's crystal clear. This thing's semi-automatic.
Again, the big thing we want to do, we wanted to completely take the firearm out of any possibility of being categorized as an assault weapon under California's law.
Right.
And, that doesn't mean features. It doesn't mean, featureless. It just means, hey, let's not even be semi-automatic anymore. And like Ascanio said, we are jumping the gun a little bit in the sense that we know they're going to keep going after semi-automatic rifles in California. And it is only a matter of time before the featureless stops becoming an option. So this is, we're already going to have a solution when they think of that. So it is truly a great thing. Ascanio did some really, really good, diligent work when it came to that product.
So let me ask you this, John. I was asking Mike. Now, this product that he came out with, does he have to get that certified? Does he have to get some kind of a government stamp of approval?
Well, the DOJ, California DOJ, will not give you answers to compliant products, and that's a reason why you don't see any, compliant product out there right now with any type of letter or approval by the DOJ. They not only want to restrict, what guns you can buy and tell you that you're a felon if you have a certain grip on your gun, but they won't even clarify what makes something legal when you're trying to comply with the law and trying to be legal. They won't tell you, oh yeah, that's legal or illegal. They'll just wait for you to put it on your gun, and then if it's illegal, they'll arrest you for it.
But how could it be? How do they? But who determines whether it's illegal or not? Is it a whim?
Well, again, that's why Ascanio, we worked together for a long time with this product, going over the law, going over the definitions within the law, and we've just made the determination based off on the law that this is a compliant product.
Well, one of the things, we talked to one of the other manufacturers about a year and a half ago, and he showed us a letter that he wrote to the DOJ and said, hey, can you tell me whether or not I'm compliant? They wrote back and said it's up to each county district attorney to decide whether or not they're going to prosecute. We're not going to give you any guidance. Right. So John and I actually sat down with the old district attorney, Bonnie DeManis, and laid out the problems and said, here's what we're facing. You give us some feedback so at least we know in San Diego what we can and can't do. And John, I thought that was a really productive meeting.
Yeah, it was great. There's a lot of it was kind of shocking. Bonnie DeManis, a great attorney, great DA. But it was funny. There were things that we showed her that she, literally asked, wait, is that really the law? Why is that a law? She was questioning, why we'd even try to control something like the angle of a grip. And it was enlightening, and it was very beneficial.
Yep, I agree.
So I'm glad we did that. But to jump on some laws that are getting proposed, I know this is something I wasn't able to talk about last week, but it's AB Assembly Bill 2382, and this is the firearm precursor part bill, and it would basically make it to where you have to get a background check before you bought any firearm precursor parts, which would be any firearm part that is necessary for the assembly and function of a firearm. So if you think about that, think about all the little parts that are on an AR or a handgun or anything like that. So those would all be deemed, and this is including springs and little tiny parts, all of those would be deemed firearm precursor parts, and you'd have to get a background check before you bought any of them.
So every little tiny spring and,
any part that is necessary to assemble the firearm. So, yeah.
That's everything.
The language is extraordinarily broad. It's horrendous. It's truly, they've gone way too far in this, in the sense that, if anyone's ever put together an AR, there's a bunch of little springs that, sometimes they go flying across your living room and you can't find it. So that means if that happens, you got to go down to the gun shop, who now has to have a firearm precursor part license to sell these firearm parts, and you have to get a background check for a tiny little spring.
Yeah, I was cleaning my bolt carrier group on my AR a couple years ago and lost the little roll pin, inside there. And that teeny tiny little roll pin that is so small it can fit onto a dime, this tiny little, it's like a 38-cent part. That turns your $1,000 AR into a paperweight, if you lose that thing. That little tiny thing.
That means
so
you should.
It goes into the safety selector. So if you don't have that in there, you can't operate safety on your firearm. So obviously, it's essential to make a firearm, make an AR, and so that you'd have to get a background check to get that detent roll pin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's an absurd piece of legislation, absolutely horrendous, but it is something that people need to pay attention to because we are in California, and it could very well pass.
And how far down the road is this bill?
It's still fairly new. I believe it is going to the Senate, California Senate, to be voted on fairly soon. So, write in, call in, do whatever you need to do to let your representatives know that this is a joke and they need to not support it. The other quick update is, we have talked about this one before, and this was the legislation that was going to bump up the minimum age to purchase a firearm to 21, and then it would also require that you could only buy one firearm every 30 days. So that was actually defeated on the legislative level, and I know Firearms Policy Coalition did a lot of work on that to defeat that. However, the author of that bill, Portatino, he did the wonderful gut and amend tactic when it came. He basically took another piece of legislation that's already in the process, going through a lot. I think it was for funding for schools, and they essentially gutted that proposal, that amendment to the law, and they refilled it in with the 21 years old minimum age requirement and 1 in 30 days handgun requirement. So the bill's back on, and it can be voted on again, and it's now, I believe the in number now is going to be Senate Bill 1177. So although we defeated it, it's back on the table. So we should all pay attention to that. It's Senate Bill 1177, and it's one firearm per 30 days and 21 years old minimum age to buy a firearm. So they won't stop. Even when their bill gets defeated on the legislative level and it's not voted on, and no one likes it, they just throw it into another piece of legislation to try to get it voted in again.
So I don't fully understand when you say it was defeated. Do you know what, like, the particulars of that?
It didn't get the necessary votes, and so the original bill was done.
I see. So
however, they took basically the contents of the bill, and they control delete on another bill, and they got rid of all the meat and potatoes inside another bill with a different name, and they put all the firearms restrictions in this new bill.
How can that be legal?
Yeah, you'd think. When you explain the process, it makes no sense, and it shouldn't be legal. And it is a underground tactic that is used to get unwanted legislation through the law, and it really shouldn't be legal. And it's something that people should talk to their representatives, and that should be something that gets changed in the law. The fact that you can do this gut and amend, it's despicable, and it truly is a way to pass law without the general public being aware.
Jesus. All right, buddy. Well, hey, thanks for all the good news.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm here for.
I know. And you do such a good job. Folks, go to cafirearmslaw.com, cafirearmslaw.com. He'll take care of all your deals. Hey, July 1st deadline. Hey, it's coming up. AR-15 owners, you better get your act together. Get to www.crossarmory.com for all the parts to make your AR-15 or AR-10 compliant. That's Cross Armory, www.crossarmory.com for the best and easiest use and compliant parts. Simple to install. That's www.crossarmor.com. Folks, hey, you hear us talk about the importance of having a great company like Firearms Legal Protection. Well, do you or any of your family have a firearm or a weapon for personal protection? Or, hey, what would happen if you were involved in an incident? What is your plan of attack? How are you going to pay for bail? What are you going to do about all the other expenses like lawyer costs and things like that? Well, hey, you need to talk to the good folks at Firearms Legal Protection. For less than $10 a month, you will have peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you and your family. That's Firearms Legal Protection at www.firearmslegal.com, or you can call them at 469-310-9100. That's 469-310-9100, or firearmslegal.com. We use them. They're the greatest guys on the planet. Check these people out. All right. Well, Hollywood is MIA, so we've got We've got our ace in the hole. We got Jason on the line. He is from Gun Range San Diego. They're located at 7853 Balboa Avenue. They were our first advertiser, and we truly appreciate everything they do. They're open 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Go to gunrangesandiego.com, and you will not believe all the benefits. And if you mention you heard it right here on KCBQ AM 1170, it's even better. Hey, Jason, happy Father's Day, my friend.
Hey, well, thank you very much, Dave. Happy Father's Day to you and everyone else in there as well. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good day.
Hey, we're on radio. We're having a blast.
Yeah, that's great. I'm happy to be here, too. What's going on with you?
Well, not a whole lot. What's going on down at Gun Range San Diego on Father's Day? You got a lot of folks down there today?
We are extra busy, my friend. We are extra busy. We are slammed. I'm surprised the store doesn't tip over.
Wow.
We're selling a lot of these compliance parts, with coming up with this June 30th deadline to convert your AR-15s and your AKs and all those cool rifles. Been selling a lot of the Kingpins, compliance kits.
What is the Kingpin? What is that one?
Well, the Kingpin is it's another one of the compliance deals. It's kind of like the AR maglock where you have to pop your rifle in half in order to take the magazine out. Well, this is kind of like that, except it only pops it open just a tiny bit, maybe a quarter inch. At that point, it allows you to drop the mag out. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot easier. And it's pretty inexpensive. It's $109, and if you want to convert your rifle quickly, we can do it right here. It's $109, and we do it right here. It's really quick and easy.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's on the show. We've been talking about different ways to comply, and so it's trying to give people different options on how to hit the deadline, that's coming up. So Kingpin is another one. I like it. What else is happening?
That's my favorite one. You know what? A lot of people are moving towards the M1As now that this deadline's coming up. A lot of people are starting to look towards the other semi-auto rifles. They're equally reliable, equally accurate. A lot of people are looking to the M1A. Springfield M1As are the direct descendant of the military M14 and M1 Garand. M1A tends to be more accurate, more reliable than an AR-15. Fires 7.62 NATO or 308. Super fun rifles. Definitely the most accurate semi-rifles I've ever shot. We actually have a sale going on for those. They're $100 off. They're $100 off, and I got to say, I really strongly recommend them. A lot of people who move into an M1A do not look back.
And then,
Dave,
what different types of M1As are there, or what do you got?
Oh, several. There's the smallest one, the SOCOM 16. That's a 16-inch. If you want to go something closer to the AR platform that a lot of people are used to, that's a 16-inch barrel. It's got a big boom. It's still very accurate, very long distance. There's the Scout, my favorite one. That's an 18-inch, closer to like an AR-15's DMR setup nowadays. And then there's the standard models. Standard models are 22-inch barrels. They're used in competitions all over the place, and they will easily reach out and touch something 700-800 yards away and beyond if you have the skill. They're a lot of fun. And Dave, I'm sure you're familiar with the M14.
Yeah, I'm very much familiar with it. And every time, and I absolutely love that thing. And it was bulletproof. I mean, you could throw it in the mud. You could do whatever you want to do with it.
It is. That's what I love about it. It's got that AK-47 reliability. It's got beyond AR-15 accuracy. It is the old school toughness and class, but with all the modern technology. They can't leave the factory until they shoot well enough. And they've got lifetime warranties as well.
No,
so you really can't go wrong.
Wow. So what's the government going to do to try to get that off the map? Because that's next.
Well, there's that detachable magazine thing they tried to pass a couple years back. You remember that?
Yeah.
This rifle is actually future-proof in that sense because I have a buddy who has one of these. He's an old-school buddy, really good with this thing, better than I'll ever be. He never takes the magazine out. You can still load it with stripper clips, just like World War II.
No kidding.
You leave the magazine in, you throw them in, and it's in that sense, it's future-proof.
Lance, do you have one?
Stripper clips.
No, not a stripper clip. Do you have an M14?
I like the way you said that.
I know. How do you do?
No M14 for me, man.
What?
I'm still old school.
You've never even shot one.
I actually have, and I used to use them in drill team, too. We used to spin them and throw them and all that stuff.
Right.
That's why he doesn't like them, because he had to spin them and throw them.
It was a lot of fun, the old Woodstock ones. What do you have them in polymer also, if you want that, nice black look?
Really?
That's right. They have the black, the FDE, the green composite stocks. It's like a tough plastic, just like polymer. Composite stocks. If you like the old school stuff, you can get the wood.
Yeah.
They're just a lot of fun.
Which is heavier?
Bulletproof.
Which is heavier?
The wood's a good amount heavier, but it absorbs a lot of recoil. And another thing that's really surprising about this rifle is that it hardly kicks at all. Even the lightest version, the shortest polymer one, the thing kicks just like an AR-15. It just regulates its recoil so well.
When did they come out with
really
those?
Strongly recommended.
M14.
Oh, M1As.
Oh,
M14. The M1 Garand. The M14 came out. I want to say. Well, the Garand came out, in the 40s, early 40s, World War II.
Yeah.
That pretty much won the war. That helped win it. And the M14 came from that. And then the M1A is like the civilian model of the M14.
Yeah, I think I was with my brother-in-law in Maryland a couple summers ago, and he had a World War II vintage Garand, and I looked at that thing with a steel butt on it and everything, and I'm going, holy mackerel, this is going to kill me. And it hardly had any recoil whatsoever. You're absolutely right. The accuracy and everything, I just love them, and I agree. I think a lot of people in California are going to gravitate more and more. Such a high-quality rifle, as you say, reliability in that. And so you've got the different variants, and then you also have them on sale.
What's retail?
That's right.
What's retail on those?
Most of them, most of them are $14.99 or $15.99, $16.99. They're all $100 off. Wow. So I'd really strongly recommend coming down. They've all got 2-stage competition triggers, and like I said, they can't leave until they shoot well enough.
Gotcha.
Which is enough for me.
And what about financing? Do you guys do any layaway or anything?
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. You can put down 30% on any weapon in here. Just put it on layaway. There's no extra fee. There's no hidden interest or cost. It's just whatever's left. Just pay it off within a couple months, and we are cool. We do not mind. We want to get this gun in your hands.
Right. Well, do you have one in the rental fleet?
I do. I sure do. I have the Scout. Lots and lots and lots of fun. It's a very popular rental. Very popular. My favorite one.
Yeah. We got to get together and all go down sometime.
And then,
I'd love to.
Speaking of sales and stuff like that, so I was out up in Lemon Grove Rod and Gun Club yesterday shooting the competition with Joe Dramisi. We were doing that.
Did you beat him?
I was shooting the 45, and they were all shooting the 9s. It was awesome because the 45 would knock one down, and I'd actually get a twofer. And when they take these 9s, they'd have to shoot a couple times. So it was just a lot of fun. And I bought a bunch of rounds from Gun Range San Diego, and I'm going to have to buy a bunch more because I think I went through at least 300.
Oh my!
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep talking about these deals on 1,000 rounds, you could easily go through it.
That's right.
So, and these competition deals every Saturday.
And guess what? You don't have to clean your gun.
No, I don't. I'm going to be taking it to Gun Range San Diego tomorrow, actually, because I'm one of the members there. So I drop it off.
Leave it here. We will clean it and hand it right back to you.
It's a filthy thing.
We still got the ammo sale, the bulk ammo. If you want 1,000 rounds of 9, it's only $209.
Wow.
Any caliber you want, anything bulk, 40, 45, 12 gauge, whatever have you, just let us know. We will give you an insane bulk discount on it.
That's awesome.
But the 9mm is $209 right now for 1,000.
Yeah, I got a box at my house. I haven't shot mine yet.
Good.
Lance already went through 7 boxes.
Yeah, and you live just right across the freeway from.
All I know is I can hear them. That's all I know. I can hear them. I don't know.
You can hear.
I don't know where they're hiding. So you doing anything? I know it's 4:45, but you're there till 10 o'clock. You doing anything for Father's Day, or are you just too banged?
You know what? All I did was just celebrated my dad today. Thank you, Dad. If you're listening, happy Father's Day. And that's it. I'm gonna celebrate my Father's Day next week.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I'm pretty beat today.
Yeah. Well, you're at the store.
Treat the elder.
Aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I'm at the store.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
And then real quick, Mike, want to mention you have the what?
Yeah, you guys, Veronica had the fantastic idea of having a CCW seminar at the Gun Range San Diego. So last week we had 2 seminars, and then tomorrow night we have 2 seminars. And this is how to get your CCW in San Diego. It's about an hour and a half. First one's at 6, second one's at 8. I don't think they're full. So if you're interested,
is there a charge?
No charge, totally free. And last week she bought pizza. So
nice.
You can get pizza and a bottle of water, and you get to learn how to...
educated.
You get educated. You get to learn how to get your CCW in San Diego.
I have a friend of mine, his name is Marco. He's going to be there tomorrow night, and he's bringing some friends.
Oh, good.
So,
but is he bringing pizza?
No, but he's bringing his friends. And you want to know him and his friends, by the way.
Okay,
I'll talk about that off air.
But my goal in that seminar is that everybody walks out of there about 85%, towards getting their, knowing what they need to do to get their CCW. So they go home, they know exactly what they're going to write for their good cause. They know exactly what the process and procedure is, and they'll be successful.
And now that you bring that up, because I know for a while there, just in the last week or two, you were saying that to go down, they were trying to discourage people again.
Be persistent. They still
they don't say no. They just try to diffuse you.
Right. And a lot of it has to do, there's a number of reasons, but we need people to be prepared, to know what they're doing when they're going in, and then be polite and persistent.
Yeah.
So you take care of all the P's: prepared, polite, persistent. You should be successful.
And remember what I've been saying for a long time now, how when you started, San Diego County gun owners, how everyone's saying, oh man, I want to get a CCW. Now, here it is. They're able to get them. You've got the classes for them and everything else.
Hundreds of people.
So what are they going to be bitching about now?
Just give them a moment or two.
There's plenty more to.
That's really cool, man.
All right,
I'm
buddy.
excited.
Hey, well, thanks a million for calling in. We sure appreciate it.
Yeah, and happy Father's Day, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Love having you on.
Too.
Hey, and enjoy Father's Day next week for you.
Hey, thank you.
All right, buddy. Hey, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, we got a whole lot more right here on AM 1170, The Answer. All right, folks. Hey, do you or any of your family members keep a firearm or a weapon for personal protection? Do you or are you going to get a CCW? Well, if you're ever involved in an incident, what's your game plan? What are you going to do about an expensive lawyer, bail? Well, here's the answer. Talk to the good folks at Firearms Legal Protection for less than $10 a month. You'll have peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you and your family. Go to firearmslegal.com or call them at 469-310-9100. That's firearmslegal.com. All right. Hey, we've got a special guest on the line. Who have you got there, son?
We've got our buddy Mike Johnson of SD Must. And so, Mike, a lot of stuff going on, huh?
Yeah, it seems like with all the anti-gun rallies that were coming out after the recent tragedies, there was an organization called March for Our Rights. It's a student-led organization that are planning rallies and marches all over the country on July 7th. So of this year. And then a junior in high school named Amir here in Chula Vista, he actually signed on to organize the event here in San Diego. And then they reached out to us at SD Must because we've had other events. And we said we'd help them out any way we could. So we've been help promoting it to try to get it out there so people know that it's happening.
What's the message?
So basically, with all the anti-gun rhetoric out there, there's a lot of students that aren't even 18 yet that are worried they're not even going to have the ability to buy a firearm when they turn 18. With all the legislation they're planning, they wanted to make their voices heard and kind of exercise their rights and be like, hey, we support the Second Amendment. We didn't walk out willingly to go against it. We actually want to be able to have the same rights as everyone else as an adult. So I think that's their main goal, is to say that they, support the Constitution and especially the Second Amendment. So they want to start kind of like a movement in that direction instead of the other way.
Excellent. And where's it going to be at?
So it's going to be at Waterfront Park down by the County Administration Building. We're meeting there at the park. There's going to be some guest speakers, and then they're going to march down to Seaport Village over to the convention center, then back, because it's a very visual area. There's going to be a lot of tourists and people there, so they'll see us, so they'll know that other people that are afraid to speak out know they're not alone. That there are people that actually support their Second Amendment rights, and they're willing to actually get out there and do something about it.
I got you. Waterfront Park, is that the one that's got the new
waterfront
water fountains and stuff like that?
The one you play in.
They took the parking lot away. That was like,
yeah, they took the parking lot out and put a swimming hole.
And then they put the water in there just when we had the big water crisis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's government efficiency at work. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay, that's cool, man. And what time is it in the morning?
So it starts at 10 a.m. and then we'll be done probably around 1.
And they got a website?
So, it's m4or.org.
M4OR.org. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I'll have to see if KUSI might want to have them on.
It'd be a great story for KUSI.
Well, KUSI is real big on Second Amendment rights. They've had Michael Schwartz on at least 500 times.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, KUSI is pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. And hey, just changing gears for a little bit, are you going to do one of your BLM cleanup things one of these days?
Yeah, we actually just had one recently. We cleaned up a spot that hasn't been cleaned in a couple of years, and we actually hauled out, quite a bit of garbage. And so the next one we have planned, we're probably going to do it out in the Imperial County because there's an area out there that needs to be cleaned. We're going to post it on our website once we get all the logistics planned out. But there's a spot out there that a lot of off-road people they said they would actually help clean as well. And because San Diego is closed to recreational shooting right now for fire restrictions, so Imperial County is kind of the best place to go right now where we can actually clean and then we can shoot right afterward.
Well, tell us a little about the name of your organization and a little bit about it. We got a couple minutes.
So we're called SD Must. It was basically originally San Diego, or San Diegans must get out and get involved, just because a lot of people complained online about all the things not going our way, but no one actually was getting out and doing anything about it. A lot of people tend to complain and bitch and moan on the internet, but they're not willing to actually get out. So we figured if we can get people out to educational events or cleanups or other things that actually get them out of the house and engage the community, that's how you build a community, and that's how you learn about other events going on. That's how you learn about the current laws and the upcoming laws that they're proposing. And, it gets literally get out and get involved with everything, because that's a lot of people don't do that. They just they think that they just click like on a site, that's getting involved, but it's not. You actually have to do something. And even just something as small as, instead of clicking like on a page, go to, find out your local legislator, contact them and tell them that you oppose any of the laws, that either current ones or any upcoming ones, especially ones that are ineffective. There's a lot of laws that they've proposed that they don't prevent anything. They just create something that, new criminals out of people that otherwise are law-abiding citizens. Mm-hmm. So, and it's just, if they start calling these people and letting them know, like, hey, we oppose this, or send them letters, show up to the meetings like, the ones that Michael Schwartz talked about. Show up at those meetings. Let your voice be heard. That's part of the process. That's part of, retaining your freedom, is you actually have to do something about it once in a while.
Yeah, Mike's just about the hardest working volunteer when it comes to Second Amendment rights in San Diego County.
That's for sure.
Guy really just puts his money where his mouth is. So, anybody that you have an afternoon, you can help Mike, please volunteer your time, or at the very least, donate to SD Must, because they go out and do the really, really hard work. And he does a fantastic. Mike, you do a fantastic job, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, if you need some off-roaders to come out and help you, I've got a bucket load, because I deal with the off-road community on KUSI, and we go out and we do the Lost Lizard run and, the Tierra del Sol guys. I mean, there's hundreds of them. They'd be more than happy to hook up.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we all have the shared responsibility of all this public land. We all want to keep it open for responsible people to use. So we're all on the same page. But I think a lot of times we just don't realize it. So I've been trying to reach out to other organizations to do that recently too.
Have Lance send you my email address, and then you email me, and then I'll hook you up. Because what I could do, if we get the off-road community to come out and do that cleanup, I'll have some Jeeps come to KUSI, you come into KUSI and promote it, and then hang on. That
would be great.
I'll be more than happy to do it. It won't cost you a dime. like I said, it'll be just our way here at the station to help any way we can. So have Lance give you my email. We'll definitely get this thing done.
I'm on it.
That sounds great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
My pleasure. All
right, buddy. Hey, we're going to have to let you go. Thank you very much. Right. Give out that website one more time.
It's sdmus.com or m4or.org.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks a lot. Happy Father's Day.
All right, you too. Take care.
All right, folks. Hey, are you ready for the big deadline coming up? We've been talking about it for weeks.
Yes, we have.
Well, that deadline to either register your AR-15 as an assault weapon or make it California compliant. Well, go to www.crossarmory.com for all of the parts to make your AR-15 or AR-10 compliant. That's www.crossarmory.com for the best and easiest to use compliant parts. Simple to install, and that's, our good friends at www.crossarmory.com. And if you can't do it, they can. So check them out.
Speaking of that, we're going to have Wes or Richard on the show next week from Cross Armory, talking about the different parts. Plus, they have something new that they're putting out. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but it's something about it's a apparatus that fits on the end of a magazine that holds on to another magazine. Kind of like you see that. That under and over type of deal. So I guess, and so he's going to come talk about that next week.
Wow.
Also next week, we're going to talk about the shooting competitions that they're doing up in the Fallbrook. The what's the group called? Lene
Defensive Firearms?
Yeah. Oh, no, just the regular Saturday shoots they do for the competition stuff.
Oh, Línea de Fuego.
Yeah, those guys.
Which is, it's Spanish for line of fire.
Line of fire.
Línea de Fuego.
Yeah, so we're going to have more about that because...
So who's coming? Is that Dave Dizon or?
No, it's Paul Lichtenstein.
Oh.
Paul
Lichtenstein, yeah. So it's pretty cool because I did it for the first time yesterday, and our buddy Mark also came with me. Mark Spector came with me, and we're first-timers to it. Just want to tell everybody it's just so easy to do.
It really is.
Just bring 6 magazines and a belt and whatever the case may be, and everyone was so accommodating. Yeah. So we'll get more into it next week.
Yeah, you do that a couple times a year. You are so familiar with your firearm.
Right.
It's
terrific.
Really,
it's just what you're looking for.
Got to do it. Hey, folks, we want to thank all our sponsors, San Diego County Gun Owners. Go to SanDiegoCountyOwners.com, the Gun Range SanDiego.com, CAFirearmsLaw.com, FirearmsLegal.com, TridentGunsmithing.com, and last but not least, CrossArmory.com. When you do contact those people, make sure you thank them for supporting our show to help keep this on the air and at least give you a window to find out what's going on between John Dillon and Michael Schwartz and Lance Pelkey, Joe Holyfield, and myself. We'll do anything and everything we can to keep you and your Second Amendments totally free. Because if we don't do it as a group, it's not going to happen. They will take over. So don't let that happen. Folks, thank you very much. Have a great, great Father's Day for the remainder of your day. And again, don't forget, join San Diego County Gun Owners. Just go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com. Hey, it's $10. You want me to loan it to you? Give me a call.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.